In this video, you will learn how to choose the right digital marketing agency that fits your timing and your budget. This video is for business owners and marketing managers who want to dominate their market. If you have any sense of stress and overwhelm on how to choose the right digital marketing agency for your own use case, this video is for you, but you'll have to watch all the way through to the end. Henry here, CEO of Digital Strategy Group. I've ranked millions of keywords in Google, helped our clients make billions of dollars in revenue. So this is long form digital marketing masterclass format. So you won't find this same content out there on YouTube or any other social media outlet. This content is unique to my 20 years digital marketing experience, how I ranked over 1 million keywords in Google, and how I built and scaled digital marketing teams in-house and internationally. In this video, you will learn how to choose the right digital marketing agency for your business use case. Want to learn that right now? Fastest way is to book a call with me. Find the scheduler meeting link below. And here are the topics we're going to cover in this video. One is digital marketing agency landscape. What are the types of digital marketing agencies, freelancers, consultants versus agencies? 2, how digital marketing agencies market themselves. Mistakes I see made in choosing the right agency is branding does not always equal a good fit. Niche specialty can only take you so far, and cookie cutter strategies, cookie cutter teams, and cookie cutter processes does not always equal the success that you're looking for. Third, we're going to talk about your business needs and budget. How fast do you need to get to ROI, and how much do services cost? Fourth, we're going to talk about proposals and proposal process. Must have an expectations and needs match. Must filter your strategy to your assigned agency lead strategist that you would potentially be working with. 5, we're going to talk about agreement types and agreement structures. One quick tip. If you see that there's not a systematized process that they follow to get you from point A to point B in this process, I highly suggest you run. And lastly, point 6, you are going to commit to one partner with a growth framework, and you're going to scale your brand. You're going to grow, you're going to hit your ROI benchmarks, and you're going to feel happy and glee and look like a rock star. Let's get started. Quick disclaimer. So for those information gatherers out there, if you're just looking around, look at me. Consume all these videos that you can. You don't need any other video or channel from this point forward. I have a unique background that can really help you. And I'll tell you like it is, if there's something in particular you want to know, leave it in the comments and we will address it in a later video or book a call. Let's go. When you need more details from this video, review this and other content at your leisure. No matter what, at some point, come back and schedule a call. It's okay. No pressure. 90% of you are not a good fit, but I can still help you in 15 minutes or less. Let's all just relax, let go of the pressure, and realize that here, there's no pressure, there's no stress. Just my recommendation is that you, at the very least, take action on one thing today to get you closer to your goal of how to choose the right digital marketing agency for your business. Just get 1% better. And lastly, don't be put off by my continual nudge to book a call. Some of you need that nudge. Some of you don't. I am meeting you where you are at. This content is free. I run a digital marketing agency, and I also used to run a digital marketing coaching program priced from $10K to $25K. I am going over that same content here with you right now for free. Why, Henry? Because I want to help as many people as I can. We all have too much value to give to the world. I can't, nor do I want to keep my knowledge, experience, and wisdom bottled up any longer. Now it's time for you to use it. Be confident, be wise, use it. It's free, and it's up to you. About 15 years ago, I had my first full-time employee. Worked for me for about a year. We both decided we just weren't the best fit for each other. He worked for one other in-house team. A few months later, he called me back saying, this is after he found his new position. He's like, hey, Henry, thanks so much for all you taught me. They think I'm a genius, but I'm just implementing what you already taught me. And this is the same. This is what I can do for you. You know what's crazy? You know what his next position after that was? It was working with Dell Corporation in Texas, running marketing campaigns for them, digital marketing campaigns. Crazy. I was so happy for him. He came in when he started knowing nothing and is now running marketing campaigns for a top Fortune 500 company. Very proud of him. He learned a new skill set to provide for his family, and he's doing great. Any of you want this digital content in some sort of chart or a graph or a framework or a PDF, book a call and I'll give it to you. Check the video description for an email offer. I may also email them to you. How to choose the right digital marketing agency for your business cheat sheet PDF. Point 1 in how to choose the right digital marketing agency for your business. Digital marketing agency landscape. What are the types of agencies? So we have freelancers, consultants, and agencies. First, let's talk about freelancers. All right, so freelancers can be, I'm just going to riff through this. All right, guys, I'm going to lean back. This is more mom's basement or garage, right? They just getting started. They've been there for a few years. From what I've seen, they can't really handle what it takes to grow and scale either themselves or the agency because you know what, it is hard. So there's a lot of really great freelancers out there, but just know they're not going to help you reach where you want to be. 2, we have consultants. These are people who are normally, they kind of settle into a groove, depending on their kind of corporate background. They've been around for years. They're well spoken, usually had some corporate role, and is, in my opinion, great at fluffing, if I may. All right, point 3, new agencies. And they're normally figuring out who they are and really how to serve. 4, you also have like niche agencies. So they have marketing process and systems for your specific market. They're great to get off the ground fast, potentially. They're also run-of-the-mill marketing, so you're doing the same as everyone else. Usually I see this in the local space. You can't really dominate a market like that. If you're doing the same cookie cutter things that everyone else is doing, you're not going to really dominate your market. You're always going to have to go 1% step and above. And check out that other video of my analogy about SEO and how it's like outrunning a bear in the woods. 5, we have fluff agencies that I call. So they have cool branding, cool names. They have the most recent cool look, but they can't really deliver the results, and there's not like a real solid backbone to them. But there are some great agencies out there like that. We just got to talk about how to see, what's behind the curtain and how you guys can actually choose the best digital marketing agency that fits you guys. And 6 is we have established corporate style agencies. They usually have huge overhead. You pay double for less than half the results, in my opinion. You normally are like mediocre, and they normally partner with, brands that are more established because their fees are much higher. However, higher fees does not actually equal better for you. A lot of times, those case studies that you look at, those businesses are in a different place, and that has a lot to do with it, and especially in the SEO market. Then we have number 7, boutique or bespoke agencies. If you can find an aged, ready to serve agency, you have a mission, vision, values match. They have a team structure that works for your growth stage. I think that'd be the best fit for most of you out there. Point number 2 to go over on how to choose the right digital marketing agency for your brand is we're going to talk about how digital marketing agencies market themselves, how you will find digital marketing agencies in the wild, right? Mistakes I've seen is branding does not equal good fit. Niche specialties can only take you so far, and cookie cutter strategies, cookie cutter teams, and cookie cutter processes does not equal success for your brand. Does not equal market domination. So if you want to dominate your market, those solutions are not for you. Freelance sites. So you'll find them on freelance sites. Some agencies like Upwork, People Per Hour on the lower end, market experts from places like Market Hire, Maple, emerging platforms like TopTool and Solid Gigs. Those freelancer sites, there are some there are some good agencies and people there that can really help. Again, there's different growth stages of agencies as well as different growth stages of where you are at, and they're going to have to meet at a certain point, and that's going to be your perfect agency. And where they're at, they're actually around, right? But you have to learn how to decipher what that is. So if you do run to some on freelancer sites, don't be super dissuaded or pushed off by them. You really need to talk to the owner and that person leading your strategies. Number 2 is relationships. So as you're out in the wild, you're kind of looking around, just know how you're going to be hit up in the wild and on the internet and in real life with relationships and networking groups. They'll market themselves like BNI or other business referral networks. 3 is there's word of mouth and referrals. So that's where friends, family, online communities as well, such as like Reddit, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups. There's tons of situations out there that that companies will recommend other companies. And that is one strategy that agencies use to grow their brand. 4, we have warm calls, warm emails, and warm text. Come on, we've all received the email. What's the standard email right now? Quick question, quick question. The list goes on, type of content. So you'll get hit up by some of those as well. 5 is trade shows and booth setups. 6, organic rankings. So you'll see some agencies get rankings, which I have done in the past for digital marketing Austin, digital marketing Texas, SEO company Texas, the list goes on. So there's also niche specific ones. So digital marketing for med spas, digital marketing for SaaS companies. And the list goes on. You guys get it. 7, we have organic social. So these are people that will show up on YouTube, similar to like the video you're watching now, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, with engaging content. And it's kind of like a quick intro to hopefully like, and trust them, and you'll want to schedule a call. 8 is LinkedIn outreach. So they'll connect with you and they'll sell you a service. That's worked very well in the past. It's starting to dwindle down now. And then 9, we have paid search. So this is Google ads. So generic and high intent based keywords such as digital marketing agency for a specific niche, like we previously discussed, digital marketing agency, certain location. But usually where they will have the most success here, the agencies, and which is where you would most likely have found one, because it gets really expensive to do this, battling all the other agencies. It's essentially who's the best at converting with the amount of money that they invest in that search term. So this will be the highest intent based keywords that are strategically thought out with one great landing page that gets you to the next step. HubSpot type agencies do a really good job with this. And then also we have point 10 is paid search. So that would be Facebook ads. They're mostly used to scale once they have a product market fit. They kind of know their market. They went through the trenches of kind of figuring all those things out. Their messaging is on point and they know who they are targeting, and they know who they are. And they have their KPIs in place. They know your problems probably better than you do. But that does not mean they can or will fulfill or be the best fit for you. However, they do have a few shortcut processes, maybe even some relationships you can potentially utilize, which we can talk about in another video. But just note that if an agency is scaling with Facebook ads and they've been running it for more than 6 months to a year, they kind of crack that nut and they're scaling really fast. Also, that puts them in another growth stage. So you're going to want to talk about, if you run into those types of agencies, you're going to want to talk about how are they handling their growth. That'd be one of the main questions that I would probably want to hammer out, and who's going to be your strategist and how high can you escalate and how accessible is everybody. I bring that up because Facebook ads, as well as some of the other places, that's where a lot of you guys are going to run into some of these people, some of these agencies. And then 11, we have talking head speaking engagements, paid or free. It's really hard for venues to find good people to speak, but when they speak well, they usually excel greatly and they get a lot of publicity really fast. 12, we have podcasts. So similar to speaking engagements, but with a better mic and more fluidity in the conversational elements, and still trying to build trust and become an authority, something like you're watching now. And then 13 is review websites. So there'll be Clutch, Google, Facebook, Upcity, Trustpilot. That's another area where agencies will try to market themselves, or where you will find them. And then 14 is we have Fortune 500 subsidiaries or soft agreements. They simply use their own agencies that are technically in-house. These larger Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 companies, they kind of own their own brands, and they just kind of keep referring their own brands in a circle. Just note that that's not the best fit for any of you guys, really. Anyone looking and reading this video for this content, if you're a marketing director working there, you just need a CMO style type person to kind of hold all your teams accountable and identify the gaps and make things better. That's not really, there's a few of you guys I'm sure that are watching this here, but that's not That's not what you guys are going to be concerned about. And why the heck did I even bring up Fortune 500 subsidiaries? Because some of you guys are going to be looking at, ooh, that looks like a shiny new brand. It's doing so good. I see him in all the publicity elements. I see him in, this publication or that publication, and they cost a lot more. And everyone they have this cool looking, branding and video production and whatnot. Don't be fooled by all of that. That means they're good at branding and video production. They have a bunch of budget, and they also have a lot of wasted spend. And I don't want you guys to fall into that hole, into that gap. It's kind of like a facade. All right, point 3 is how to choose the right digital marketing agency service for your business that fits your business needs and budgets. So I have another video. Feel free to click and watch that. It's about costs and how much do these services cost and kind of like why. So feel free to check that out if you want more details. But step 1 out of all of this, if you hear anything, step 1 is to first prove your funnel. If you haven't proven your funnel yet, take a step back and make the investment to improve your funnel. You'll be stuck in a go-to-market phase forever. So most agencies will take your money and problem solve with a square peg and a round hole, right? Because that's just how they know how to solve the problem. Every company, for example, is a good fit for SEO, which albeit, yes, true. But if you really want to thread the needle, it's not always the right time to go full-fledged in SEO. I think everyone should start SEO right now. You do want to rank for your brand no matter what. And you do want your site to load quick, right? So there's all these little things that you can do and should do no matter what as you grow that also have to do with conversion rate optimization and building your funnel. But I digress. Let's go back into most agencies will take your money. Sorry, but they will. Not that they're all ill-intentioned, but that's just what they know. And they don't know what they don't know. So it usually shows up when you're invested tens of thousands of dollars over the course of months to a year and your results are severely lacking. You're stressed out, overwhelmed, not sure how to get your agency to perform, right? It's a very stressful situation. So most of the time, it's just a lack of root cause proactive problem solving in the initial partnership phase build out. So sure, they'll take your money, no problem, because they sometimes truly do believe that one service is the right, or that small subset of services is right or the best service for you. But oftentimes they're just wrong, and you have to pay for that stagnant growth, and you're burning your cash every month. Are you currently in that situation? Are you in that rut? Are you burning through cash right now, month over month, and need help figuring that out? I can help you right now. Schedule a quick call, and we'll hammer it out in 15 minutes or less. Step 1 is you got to get your funnel to perform. Step 2 is scale. The rest of this is, hey, if you're not at the scale phase yet, you just got to go work on your funnel and your conversions, right? And the shortcut to that, aforementioned, was get some high intent based Google Ads keywords to bid on and make it work. So how do we make sure we choose the right service as well as the right agency? And what are the major considerations? So 1 is runway. How much runway do I have? You need to ask yourself that question. Do you need leads and sales now? Google paid ads is going to be your go-to. Have you heard that it's too expensive, or you tried it before and it's been too expensive? Well, that's just because you need to fix your funnel. Others are doing it. Why aren't you? Fix your funnel. The end. So more and more expensive to not fix your funnel as time goes on, really. You just want some revenue in the door right now because, maybe some of you guys are struggling. Alternate out is to outreach with warm calls, warm emails. See my video on what every cold outreach campaign must have in order for it to be successful and get you high quality leads fast. So those of you business owners and marketing managers out there that have a little bit of runway. So let's say you can wait about 3+ months or so for traffic, leads, and sales to generate. You can do organic search. You can also do paid social, but your funnels must be proven to really maximize those efforts. And lastly, we have hybrid models. That's where you can have shared responsibility of marketing between agency and an in-house team. In order for this to work, you need one agency of record working with your in-house team. Split duties. You're going to need a CMO as the glue that holds it all together. Need some sort of in-house or fractional CMO attached. No matter what, you can't really get around that for it to actually work. Someone has to play that role. All right, point 4, proposals and proposal process. So this is where you need to make sure you get your expectations and needs matched. You must talk to the strategists and their higher ups when possible. See how high you can escalate in the proposal building phase. This will give you a good idea on how well the team can bob and weave to put something together that fits your exact growth strategy and your exact problem set. So here are 3 types of proposals and proposal processes that you will need to consider while going through your process of choosing your digital marketing agency of record for your business. All right, first there's Cookie Cutter, and they won't match your needs. It's not as efficient, and no matter what you throw at them, the solution is going to be, we have A, and we have B, and we have C. I don't always fully recommend that. Next, there's a semi-match, mix and match of services. Usually, there's a few unknowns here. Not really always worth the risk, but you do need to get clarity. Use the agency's escalation process here to get full clarity, because if you start mixing and matching services, that piece of information, that golden thread, has to be wound through all of your teammates that are on the agency side, from this account rep or sales rep all the way up to the owner of the company who approves, or whatever highest level the company goes, who approves or disapproves. Really, at the end of the day, it goes down to retention-based strategies. You're going to need to do what it takes, no matter what, to get the job done with the proposed budget. And I think that's something that really needs to be hammered out. So, but with the semi-match type of stuff, there's still gaps. So you got to consider those gaps. I don't fully recommend it. However, I'd go for option 3. Option 3 would be full match. There's a full needs expectations match. There's no questions in your mind anymore. You have 100% clarity about everything on how things are going to look and move and feel moving forward. And if you don't have that clarity, feel free to just pause. Just pause until you figure it out. I do encourage you to take some sort of action, no matter what proposals you're looking at after you go through that phase. You got to take some sort of action, whatever it is. Point 5, what are the types of agreements and the agreement structures? So one quick note is, if there's no systematized process, highly encourage you guys to run. Even if they are bespoking something together for you, there still should be some sort of process. Things shouldn't get lost. Timelines and deadlines should still be hit, or it should be communicated to you that, hey, this moved for this reason or this moved for that reason. So just note that is extremely important. It's kind of like an interview process when you're hiring and recruiting. So first thing is, there's standard agency retainers. There's usually a 30-day to annual agreements. 30, 60, or 90-day out is kind of where it's at. Note that there's going to now be a 5% increase, which is the year-over-year standard. So every year the account renews. There should be a 5% that's tacked onto that moving forward. A quick tip here is, keep an eye on the tools and the tool sets that they actually recommend while you're going through this process. Are they using industry standard, or constantly cutting corners with these kind of off-brand tools, which are sometimes fun? I have a lot of off-brand tools, but I also have the industry standard tools as well, and they all serve a purpose. But do they build their own tool sets as well? We personally build our own tool sets as well. Are they ahead of the market? Also, you know what? This is a good time, and this is the same thing with all your digital marketing efforts. There's an SEO analogy out there about the bear. Two hikers in the woods have to outrun the bear, right? And you should see that. You watch that. It's pretty funny. You should click on it. Second type of agreements you can go for is retainer plus performance-based incentives. This is usually a 3-year standard agreement. You could pay a little less up front and more on the back end after you get money in your own bank account in your pocket. This is more of a longer-term partnership, but you must be in the scale phase. Don't make the mistake. Don't make the mistake of partnering with anybody like that until you first get out of the kind of the go-to-market phase, proving the product market fit, proving your funnel. Last agreement types that you're going to run into is for those of you with no budget, or you have a lot of high upside and there's a time to market. You have to hit it fast, and you want the full throttle from an established marketing agency who's going to get behind you and partner with you and take you on as their own. And you ain't got much budget. I see this a lot in SaaS businesses. You got no budget. You really got something from nothing. You can do a 50% rev share. You want something from nothing, you can do a 50% rev share. So that's usually 5-year agreements. The mistakes I've seen owners make is they have a great idea, but not a great business marketing strategy. You can choose to stay at low or no revenue, or use a partner to grow. And again, SaaS is a good example of this. SaaS, you'll normally need to be at least 10K in monthly recurring revenue, and you'll need a partner or an agency to take you to the next level to really dominate your market. Want to talk about that? Book a call. Let's move on. Lastly, and the most important point, number 6, on how to choose the right digital marketing agency, for your business. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to commit to one partner with a growth framework and scale. You're going to want to make sure you have a mission, vision, values match. Narrow down the options, and you're going to want to trust your gut. There's pushiness sometimes in this process, and with some of these agencies, sometimes it is actually the servitude of the agency to push for your benefit to come on board, but not always. So just note that there's going to be times where you're going to need to get uncomfortable. You're going to need to take a leap of faith. There's going to be a small gap with any decision you choose. There's going to be a little faith gap that you're going to have to bridge. And how do you bridge that? Is with your faith. Faith in the process, faith in the team, faith in yourself, faith in and part of that is just kind of trusting your gut at the end of the day. You got some hesitations. If it's fear-based, figure that out. If you have other hesitations because of greed or pride, that's just getting in your way. 5 quick points for you to consider on how to vet your next marketing partner, your next digital marketing agency partner. First point is, what I want you to do is see how high you can get. Escalate a few key concerns that you may have and see how high you can get it up. 2 is get the answers to your questions. Any question you have, you should write it down and you should get answers. 3, if you feel pressured and you don't like it, walk away. If you feel pressured and you feel challenged and you realize, hey, maybe there's some truth in these questions being asked, challenge yourself. Be open to grow yourself. You'll have to eventually do things different in order to grow. Most common issue I see is business owners get in the way of the growth of their own companies and their own businesses due to their inability to bob and weave, or maybe even look internally, or maybe even do things different. All right, and here's the 4th point, is you need to review for a mission, vision, values match. This is the second most important part in this whole video. If you can get a mission, vision, values match between you and the agency, you're going to have a winning campaign. Your campaign is going to be, your business, your strategy, everything is going to be in a much better place than where you're at before you started. It's going to make everything better. All right, so let's talk about Digital Strategy Group's mission: to be the trusted long-term partner of our clients, servicing businesses as their dedicated digital marketing advisor and growth catalysts. DSG's vision: to create market-dominating partnerships that change the world. And kind of what is the roadmap to get there, right? The values, what drives it all. And so that's where something that is very important for you guys to really know about your companies that you're going to partner with is, do they value what I value? So here's a few values for you guys to consider on what to look out for. 1 is results matter. Do they value the same things you value? Are you going to map out the results to get there? 2 is continued growth. 3, smart people and smart technology. 4, servant leadership. Are they there to serve, or is it just kind of here to just kind of do some snake oils, man, make some money? 4, innovative technology. 5, honesty. 6, market dominance. And lastly, one of the most important, root cause, proactive problem solving. That is the one thing that can make or break your agency and the growth for you and your own company. You want to choose the right digital marketing agency to grow your business. You have to find the right team with a shared mission, vision, values set that you not only agree with, but that you can get behind. And lastly, know if you're ready to go before you get on the call. So write things down, figure out, what your budgets are, time to results, what your runway is, so you're not caught off guard. Make sure you have your list of questions on what exactly you need and want to be answered before you would move forward with a digital marketing agency. Now, you want that list? Feel free to get in contact and I'll send that right over. So you're on the call. Be willing to self-reflect. Be willing to make edits if you feel comfortable. You don't know what you don't know. And during this process, it can be a really great growth phase for you to grow like you've never grown before. You'll need to take different action to get different results. And sometimes that growth comes from you, your team, but also sometimes that growth comes from challenge. So feel free to reach out. You have any questions? I'm here. Reach out. We can hammer things out in a quick 15-minute or less call. All right. So those of you who skipped to the end, this is your TLDR version. Book a call and we'll figure it out in 15 minutes or less. Check out my other videos that cover every topic here in much more detail. Lastly, good job. Good job at getting 1% better every day. I know this video was of value to you, and I'll see you on the other side.